Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of February 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, last month I promised you that this month would be pivotal, would be an important month for you. It would be your month. And here we are. It is a month of beginnings, a month of knowing who you are, knowing how to work with what you got, and living it and being it. We have a new moon happening in your sign. Now, normally you get one new moon per sign per year, and this is your one new moon. This is your personal new year playing out now. Now, this new moon for the astrology students out there is speaking with Uranus and Saturn, essentially making a configuration called a triangle of potential. So this is somewhat of a major configuration, but it is a configuration ultimately that puts the power in your hands. It says, if you do the work, you can get better, you can get there, you can achieve what you want. So it's not so much about things just falling into your lap, but rather you see the pathway to them, and that gives you a measure of control to work with this energy and go where it is that you desire to go in life and personally as well. So it's so much about you. It really is all about you playing out this month with this new moon. And as I look at this, right, you are at the center of it. It's your beginning, a center, a heart-related center. Now, if you were born right around the 7th to the 9th of the month, let's give it like 3 days on either side of that as well. So let's say anywhere between the 4th and the 13th of the month, especially of the month of February, you will feel this energy more than most, but all Aquarians out there will be benefiting from this energy, will benefit from this vibe. And this particular energy to me, because it's speaking with your ancient ruling planet and your modern ruling planet, it says that it is deeply personal to you. The understandings, the realizations, the beginnings, the grounding, it is something very close to the heart. So this can also be just sheer luck. We've got Uranus in a part of the sky that is about the right place at the right time, and the planet of surprise turnarounds, positively speaking, with this new moon in that part of the sky. And then we've also got Saturn speaking with this configuration, and Saturn is about longevity. It's about what's going to last. It's about the big picture. So it suggests that the gains that you make now are ones that likely will create greater stability in your life, and are ones not only with the potential to last for a very long time to come, but also it's part of a new beginning that is not likely to just be a new beginning that defines the coming 2 weeks or the coming 4 weeks, but will define a substantial period of time coming up ahead, from 6 months to a year from now. So, you know, it's often said that people overestimate what can be done in a year, but underestimate what can be done in 10 years. And I've really found that to be so true. Coming up this September will be 10 years as a full-time astrologer, 10 years of the launch of my website and owning that, claiming that to the world. And I think that this has been a huge lesson for me, and I've seen it in so many lives, myself included. What is done over a period of 10 years, you don't realize a lot of times until you look back on it. And so in many ways, this is the beginning of an important cycle that will last an extended period of time, and will show you that while there might be a lot of things that you want to get done, a lot of things you're realizing, a lot of things you're trying to change, a lot of beginnings you're trying to make, at the same time, there is time. You know, they say life is short. It's short, but it's also not. You know, there's also time to do the things that you desire to do. And there's also an ability to appreciate that you're not done yet, that there's more to do in this lifetime. So as I look at this, I think that there's an element of luck, an element of fun, an element of surprises, an element of thinking clearly. Depending on what you do, there might even be some media coverage involved as well, or some opportunities within the media. Also, teaching opportunities might come up, learning opportunities might come up, or this just could be a great inspiration for a book, and you see the vision and you feel it and you know that this is something that you got to say. So this is actually part of the decade ahead, and this is being activated in particular with this new moon. So I would invite you to watch the decade ahead videos on my channel, on my YouTube channel, on my website as well, nadiyashah.com, because this particular new moon is speaking to a pivotal moment as part of a jumping off point, and as part of late this year and especially 2017, where those decade ahead issues that I talk about become that much more magnified and make that much more progress. This is a pivotal step in that time. Now, as we move towards the end of the month, we have what I am calling a truth full moon, because this full moon really is about staring down and acknowledging your illusions, acknowledging where you're being not honest with yourself, where it is that maybe, you know, if it's other people or other situations, where it is that there is a lack of clarity happening for you. But also, this is just on a very surface level, this is secrets coming out. And this full moon is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with secrets you keep consciously. So secrets you keep consciously coming out, coming forward. So be mindful of this, right? There are ways to share that don't leave you feeling exposed and vulnerable and, oh my God, now what? And there are ways that do take you there. So self-care is so important with this particular full moon. Self-honesty as well, very important with this particular full moon. For all of us, as we get towards the end of the month, all of us are going to be feeling this. However, I do think that for you in particular, as I said, because it's happening in a part of the sky that has to do with secrets, it has to do with vulnerability, it has to do with ending things, like you realizing what you want to leave behind you, what's in your past, what's over. And this particular full moon also speaks to a sense of a regeneration, if you will, right? Like understanding that sometimes endings lend themselves to some brave beginnings. And to me, I look at this, and this says being honest with yourself about your priorities. Where do your priorities really lie? Where is it that you're spending energy that needs to go in other directions? All of that is going to be part of this. There's also a strong financial element to this full moon. And this is money that has to do with things like grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, benefits. And particularly it's the tax return part that got my attention. And the reason is because I don't know what it's like in all over the world, but I know that normally in Canada, and I know in the US as well, I think it's April that taxes tend to be due. Well, I know in Canada what happens is like your final tax receipts, depending on where you worked, they are supposed to arrive before the end of February. I don't know if it's still like that, but I remember it was like that. And so this full moon is happening right around that time when these receipts, right, your T1 or T4s, I don't know what it's called all over the world, of course, but these are the types of like sort of statements you need to fill out your taxes in Canada. And so this is the time they come out, right? They're supposed to arrive right around this time. And given that this full moon is one of there's an element here of mistakes, if you will, right? And especially where it comes to money. So it's very possible that if you are in a place where you would be expecting something like that in the mail right around the last week of this month and the first week of next month, then there might be some mistakes on it that need to be corrected. So it's nothing that can't be corrected, but you have to be mindful of that and observant of that. And I also would say that this is not the time to do your taxes. Like, leave your taxes alone. Wait, just give it some time. Because again, there's this factor there of error, this factor there of, you know, what's the truth, what's really going on. And so you want to be mindful of that. You want all your dealings around money. I said this to your opposite sign as well. All your dealings around money should be loving, should be filled with gratitude. It's so important. The energy you bring when you are paying bills or spending money, you have to stay in that energy of gratitude. So if you find yourself, like some people do, you know, like your stomach turns and you feel that pit in your stomach and you're like, oh my God, this is money that's going. You have to put that aside. You have to stop what you're doing and instead go and get grateful. Get really grateful about whatever in your life, and then take that energy to matters of money. So money is an important element for you and your opposite sign this month, but for you it especially has to do with what we call, as I said, other people's money, financial institutions, spouses' income as well. So self-care, self-honesty, knowing that you need to exercise patience. Maybe everything won't be so clear. Maybe you'll sense some things. Maybe things that have been hidden will now come about. So what you want to do is court the part of this energy that is about that self-honesty, that is about you really getting a real strong footing into what really matters, and getting a strong footing that says you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you know who you no longer are, what you no longer need in your life. This is a great way to use this energy. Also, with this particular month, what I love about this month for you is that there is a real understanding now that it is about you. It is about you. It is about you and what you desire and who you desire to be, who you know yourself to be. This month is reaching a level of identity, and you're making some fresh moves and initiating things in alignment with that. And at the same time, as you move forward, you will realize what doesn't work with who you have become now. And that's when you really get to show just how brave you are and just how bold you are. When you go and change things up, knowing that this is what you're ready for. You're ready to live your truth, your subjective truth, yes, but it's your truth right now. And that is something that every Aquarian must do. If you are going to be at peace with yourself, that's something that you have to do. And you will rise to that challenge and exceed at it this month.